Hello and welcome to the very first interview here on Northern Soul Radio UK. Today I am privileged to be chatting with Northern Soul diva, Miss Judy Street. Hi Judy.
Well, hi Steve Harris. How are you today?
I'm really good. I've got a bit of a cough going on though, but I'm alright.
Well, stop that.
Yeah, I need to get some water. Right, I tell you what we'll do. Let's start from the beginning. Why not tell our listeners about your childhood and growing up in Indiana?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, Steve. And yes, I was born in the state of Indiana. And by the way, I am interviewing here from Nashville, Tennessee, which is kind of in the middle of the United States, so that everybody kind of knows where I am. And that's where I live now. But yes, I was born in Indiana, kind of a northern state, but I was only a little young girl before my parents moved me totally out west. I mean, I don't remember 2 and 3 years old. I don't know if you do or not, Steve, but I don't.
No. Not at all.
So by the time the first thing that I remembered was really being out on the West Coast, California in kindergarten, and then moving to Phoenix, Arizona. Speaking of hot, we were talking about the weather and how it's warm in the summer here, but Phoenix, Arizona gets to be like 120 degrees, and that is where I really ultimately was raised and went through all my grades of school.
That's hot.
It's hot. Yeah. I spent most of the time in the pool in Arizona.
Right. So, when did you discover you had a musical talent for singing?
Well, my father was an actual entertainer, played piano and organ in nightclubs here in the United States.
Wow.
And when I was 11, 12 or so, he would sit at home and say, "Hey, Judy, come over here. I want you to learn this song to sing with me." So I'm 11, 12 years old and, kind of silly little high voice. And I would learn things like Girl from Ipanema and Sunny and You've Got a Feeling, I've Got a Feeling You're Foolin'. I mean, you guys don't even know those songs, but...
Oh, I know the Girl from Ipanema.
Well, he was the one that actually started my training, my professional training, if you have it, for singing. Yeah. Then I went on to, in high school, I was in the chorus and the girls, a trio, and did solo singing and that kind of thing. So it was kind of a natural ability that I had, it just went on from there. I actually continued right after high school. I got a job with a duo singing in a nightclub in Phoenix, Arizona, and it just went on from there. I was just singing all my life, I guess.
So how did you get your big break into the music industry?
Well, actually, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and this actor/manager walked in, and he heard me singing as a young girl, and he said, "Do you want to go to California, and I'm going to make you a star?" And I was just like, sure. I was 18, 19 years old. I was like, yeah, sure. So he actually did that. He relocated me to California, and he's the one, well, we'll get into that later, I think. You're going to have those questions as well.
Mm-hmm. So who were your inspirations for music while you were growing up?
Well, I listened to pretty much the girl singers, Barbara Streisand, and then Karen Carpenter and Bonnie Raitt, and the girl singers kind of as through the 70s, 80s when I was performing. I would learn all the songs from them.
A quick one, right? Do you know when you were younger, if you can remember that, right? Did you ever sing into a hairbrush?
Okay, that's a random question.
I just threw that one in. No, I'm being serious.
And I never sang in the shower either, so there you go.
Have you any advice you'd like to give today to anybody that wants to break into the music industry?
Oh, that's a tough one, too. The music industry, of course, is just as difficult to make it these days as it was then. I think for the young singers that are coming up, I think the two things that you need to remember is humility and just fire in the belly. You got to kind of believe in yourself and go for it, but with humility. I mean, you can't be you can't be obnoxious and go forward.
No.
Believe in yourself and be a nice person. Go for it.
So now you can be as truthful as you want with this, because all of my other interviewees have been. We've never gotten into trouble of it yet, but I'm sure we will sooner or later. What do you personally think about today's music industry? Either it be the music business itself or the singers or the type of music that's get played nowadays?
Well,
what do you personally think about it?
Well, I love the Northern Soul genre because it's sort of the olden style, the olden days where music was music and artists were artists. And, you press vinyl records and it was there. You could hold on to it. Now with the digital world and everything being on YouTube and all those music sites that you can, promote yourself, and I don't get it. And I think it's twice as hard, but we were tangible. We were actually, you would have a record deal with a record label and with people at the record company. Now it's not that way anymore, and I think that's a shame, but it is what it is. So,
yeah.
Oh, and I hate that saying. Sorry, yeah. I didn't say that.
Well, that's what we're going to do now, Judy, right? We're going to have a small break. I'm going to play some of your tracks, and we'll be back with you in about 15 minutes' time.
Well, thank you, Steve. I'm looking forward to it.
Hello, and welcome back to the second part of this exclusive interview with Judy Street. Welcome back, Judy.
Hi, Steve. Yeah, thanks.
Now, everybody's going to be wanting to know about the next question, and of course, the main single. So, did you choose to sing H.B. Burnham's track "What," or was it chosen for you by somebody else?
Well, let's go back to the traveling from California with a manager to traveling from Arizona, to California.
Yeah.
He actually walked me into the studio. H.B. Barnum was already picked to be the producer, be the arranger, everything for this session by my manager. So when I walked into that studio, H.B. had picked the songs, the two songs that were to be on this 45, and in the order, of course, that he picked them in, which was You Turn Me On being the A side, What being the B side. And so that answers the question. I did not pick them. HB picked them.
HB did. Now, here's a good one for you. Is it true you never knew What was a major hit over in UK?
I had no idea until Napster days. And do you remember the Napster days where people would have sharing tunes on the internet? It was early, probably 97, 98. I'm not real sure when, but when I actually put in Napster Judy Street, it came up with 11 different people that were representing my record, What? And I was absolutely shocked. I mean, I had no idea what this was even meaning. So I picked a couple of random names that were at the bottom. In those days, they included a contact information. So I randomly wrote to two of these people, and I said, I am Judy Street, and I'm the singer who recorded What back in 1968. And they answered me. Both of them answered me, and they both said stuff like, we're going to treat this as you're really who you say you are, but this was a gigantic, massive hit over here in the late 70s. And did you know that? I mean, I was blown away. I had no idea. It took me probably a long time to even get that whole concept. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So what was your feeling like when you found out that the actual track itself is ranked 24th in the Northern Soul's Top 500?
Well, Kev Roberts, actually, who was the author of that book, the Top 500 Northern Soul Greatest Hits, he sent me a copy of that book, and I had to look at it for probably 2 weeks, and go, 24? 24? 24 out of 500? I couldn't get it. My son was about 11 or 12 years old at that time. He goes, Mom, that was massive. That was huge. That was a hit. You're a star. So it was overwhelming, to say the least. Yeah.
So whilst thousands of Brits were spinning, backflipping, and sliding to your single, all right, during the 70s and the 80s, without you knowing, of course, what were you actually doing at those times?
Well, I was still performing. I was in Newport Beach, California, performing with my own group and singing 5 nights a week, Tuesday through Saturday, just making money. I got paid for that, of course, and had a really nice following down in that Southern California area. People would come to see me all the time. And the only thing that I had an inclination, probably about 76, I was at the Jolly Roger in Newport Beach, California, and a couple of British young men came in, and they heard me sing, and on a break, I stepped outside, and they came out and followed me outside, and they said, "Are you Judy Street that sang the song What?" And, of course, I went, "What?" I couldn't believe, because this had been years, following this time that I'd actually been in the studio, that somebody actually knew about it. And then I said, "Well, yes, I am. Of course I am. I'm Judy Street." And they said, "Well, did you know that Mark Allman has a follow-up hit with your song?" And I said, "No, I have no idea who's Mark Allman." They went, and then they said, Soft Cell, and I went, "Who's Soft Cell?" And it went on from there. So had I taken them serious when I heard them tell me that, I would have been able to come over earlier, but that never happened. I didn't think they were serious. And there was no internet for me to follow up on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Correct.
So, exactly, what are you doing nowadays? What are you doing now, at this moment?
Talking to you, Steve.
I knew you were going to say that. No, music-wise.
Actually, I am a teacher now. I teach piano and I teach drums. So that's not a secret. I've been doing that now for about 20 years here in Nashville, and I love giving back to the young students that want to grow up and learn music, and I just love to see that progress. So, yes, very blessed that I get to teach and give back.
So, have you got anything coming up in the future? Have you got a CD out? Are you going to be making a CD? Are you going to go on tour?
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. I don't know why, but it seems like the even numbered years is when I get to come and perform my song. So I was 2012 in Blackpool, I was 2014 in Skegness and in Preston, and I'm assuming that in 2016 I'll be back to Skegness again. Wouldn't that be great?
It would be great. You should actually come to Newcastle. Get yourself to Newcastle. That would be a good one for you to do. A good gig.
Well, Newcastle. Right.
Well, you let me know.
You let me know.
I will.
Where I need to be, yeah.
We get sorted. Right, couple of quick ones. Do you have a Facebook or a Twitter account so people follow you?
Oh, I do. I sure do. My website, of course, is www.judystreetwhat.com, and then there's also a link to get to the Facebook page from that website. But I am, of course, facebook.com, Judy Street What. How simple can that be, Steve?
Easy peasy.
Okay, yep.
And finally, have you got any shout-outs you'd like to give to your family, friends, or any fans that are tuned in?
Oh, I love my fans in England, and I just want to say thank you for your support and still loving my song, What. I hear so many nice comments all the time via my Facebook that they're still dancing it, they're still playing it, they're still loving it. Still doing backflips and spins on it.
Yep.
Isn't that great?
Well, I'm actually spinning and backflipping and sliding, but I can't do the splits anymore, so I'm getting too old for that. But yeah, I still spin and backflip to it.
I'm amazed you could have done a split even when you were younger, Steve.
I did.
Right. I couldn't do a split ever. I was 5 and I couldn't do the splits. but it sounds like fun. Well, okay. One more thing I want to add, of course, to my
Judy.
What am I doing? I have recorded my Cover Girl CD specifically for my England fans. It includes 9 all-time favorite Northern Soul hits. One song is actually written by my husband to be a follow-up for my Northern Soul hit, What. It's called What Are You Waiting For? And that's on the Cover Girl CD as well. When I come to England next year, I will be performing all of those songs from my CoverGirl CD, and that way you'll know what they are. Some of my favorites off of it, some of my favorite all-time Northern Soul songs probably are Long After Tonight Is All Over, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It'll Never Be Over for Me, amazing, amazing song. I had a blast singing Hit and Run, believe it or not. That was a great one. And from the new Move On Up Northern Soul CDs that I just got my hand on the other day, there's a cut on there by Jackie Day. I know you know it, Steve. It's called Before It's Too Late. I think I've fallen in love with that one. What a fun song. So there you go. There's my list.
Sounds great. Well, we'll be certainly playing those out on Northern Soul UK Radio, and also we'll be advertising and playing your new CD as well. Judy,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Many thanks for joining us here on Northern Soul UK Radio. It's been great. Thank you for taking the time out to join us.
Absolutely. Well, keep on dancing, Steve. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.